Welcome to a Management Plus training webinar. My name is Kevin Sloan. I'm a certified electronic health record specialist and certified ophthalmic technician. Management Plus is an industry leader in electronic health records, and we want to provide you with the documentation tools and the skills to use these tools proficiently. Today's training webinar is titled Chief Complaint and HPI Form. Let's get started. The Chief Complaint and HPI form is the first form on your template arrangement. If you have the ophthalmology forms, it will come up looking like this each and every time, since it is the very top form on the list. Let's take a look at the controls within this. This control in the upper left hand corner is a navigation form, so that if you were on the tech workup form here and then click that in the corner, it would take you back to that. The one below it is a navigation form to the past family social history, no different than clicking on this right here. The next one is for review of systems, no different than clicking on this in the form tree. The next one down is navigate to meds and allergies, no different than clicking on this. The next one is medications reconciliations. If you had the runtime narrative on and did your review of your meds and allergies that were listed on this patient. I don't think we have any allergies, so I don't see any there. If they did, you would review that, and if you had reviewed that and everything looked like it was supposed to, the patient was taking those meds as they were previously documented, you could save time by clicking this button. By doing that, it puts this label up here. Also on the meds and allergies form, it puts on there when it was last reviewed. So it puts that value in there. No different than clicking this button right from here. The next button down is the training form that will load on and navigate you to the EHR training form, which will be covered in another training webinar. Across the top, as I mentioned, is a display indicating that you've done medications reconciliation and reviewed the allergies. If you had gone to the review of systems form, cleared everything out that was there, made it normal, and then said the patient had a problem, indicated that it was ready for physician review on the Chief Complaint and HPI form, it would indicate that, which is today's date. The next control is a lookup list to document your referring physician. So just key in the physician's first few letters of their last name, and you can document that there. The upper center portion of this form is the problem list grid. The problem list grid is for documentation of all of their systemic problems as well as their ocular problems. So you can see here that there's acid reflux, thyroid, along with macular degeneration and glaucoma. There are several different ways to add to this. There's actually 3 that you can add to this list. The quickest and easiest is to choose an item from this favorites pick list. If the item already exists on here, it will not add that to it, because you cannot have 2 of the same items within this grid. So let's see if we can find one that is not on there. Let's just choose asthma. Let's take a look. I don't think asthma is on there. If we press tab and then hit enter, which is no different than clicking the favorites button, it will add that on the top and put today's date on there along with the SNOMED code. Since all of these are coded with SNOMED, which is Systemized Nomenclature of Medicine. It's a government list that is global, so you'll need to document all of those systemic and ocular problems in here with these SNOMED codes. If you need more added to this list, just let your EHR specialist or myself know, and we will be happy to add what you need there, All that you will need to do is supply the description and the SNOMED code as it is found within the SNOMED list. To the right is another option. This is essentially the full list. It's a way that you can access the entire SNOMED list. So let's just say you put in the word cataract. If you arrow down, you will see all of the options that are associated with cataract. And there are quite a few of those that are part of this. And you'll notice that there are quite a few at the top where there's duplicates. Why are they duplicates? That's just part of the government list, and that's how they have set those up. They all do actually have a different concept code, which in this case won't really make much difference. But if you chose cataract, press tab and then enter. If it's not on the list, it will add that to it. So I chose one that was not already on the list. You could choose another one that said cataract, but if it had a different SNOMED code, it would add that to the list. So it's a unique item. A third way of doing this is to right-click on the grid, do problem list, and then add. You could type in right here your option, just like you did there. It's no different than doing that. Or you can click on the flashlight and go to the list, key in your option, and this list will look quite familiar here. When I keyed in cataract before on this full list, it gave me the exact same item. Here, this allows you to set up favorites. So if you found an option within this, let's just say it's cataract due to other physical inflammation, you can right-click and choose Add Favorite. That's going to add it to your favorites list. It will not add it to the favorites list down here on the form. This is a different favorites list. So if you come into this and you have the full list in front of you, you click Favorite, you will see your favorites list that you have set up, and then you can choose from that. We highly recommend that you do this in advance for your options that you prefer to use in your office. If it's not already set up on the form in the pick list, at least you can have your own favorites list to come in here and manage. Clicking that favorites button again will take you back to the full list again. Clicking it once will take you to the favorites list. Again, we'll take it back. And again, you just right click on the option of choice and do add favorite or delete favorite. If it had it as a favorite and you decide you did not want to, you could delete it as a favorite. If you make a choice here, let's just go ahead and do one. Let's just choose something to do with the macula. Macular atrophy, double click on that. You could put a note on there, OD, had laser previously. Then clicking OK, it will add this to the list and you can see the note that's on there. So you have nice documentation for that. Scrolling down in the form, we get into the mental status section. These are essentially checkboxes, or considered fancy checkboxes. Clicking it once will make it a green arrow. Clicking it again will be a red X, and back and forth. If you need to document a note in regards to that, this is a text edit control, and you can key in whatever you need to. If you need more space than that, you can continue typing and it will just keep rolling off onto the end. If you prefer to see all of it and you wanted to type a very long note and see it all at one time, you can double click that control and then type whatever you need. And just click OK and it will put that on there. Going down below is the chief complaint section. You can key into this whatever you need. Or you can use the chief complaint builder and put on here patient returns for, or a patient complaining of a bump. Scroll down, right eye by 2 weeks. Pressing tab will add that data to this control. What I had put on there previously will remain. It will just add this additional information onto that. Below this is the HPI, or History of Present Illness section, where you can document details that are specific to this. So if the patient came in today indicating that they had red eyes, you could document that here. This in the chief complaint should be in the patient's own words. My eyes are red today, or I cannot see this. Auditors like to see this in the patient's own words. 6-month IOP check should go in the description. It should not go in the chief complaint. So it should always be personal to the patient's own words. Here in the HPI, it's related directly to that, but it can be documented in technical terms. So you could put erythema, OD, 2 weeks, all the time, or whatever you need. You can pick from the list if you want to. You do redness, and you could type in there and burning. So you can pick one from the list and then type in whatever you want, or if it's not on the list, you can just type in whatever you want as well. So it gives you lots of flexibility. It makes data entry very quick, very easy, since you can tab through this. And if you want to go in reverse, hold the shift key and then press tab, and it will go in reverse. And it will just navigate right down through this. Or you can just navigate through this and use the arrow down key on your keyboard. That's what I'm doing. I'm pressing tab. I'm arrowing down. And then just typing through there and tabbing through that. Pressing continue will take you to the tech workup form. The HPI and reviewed changes noted by control. This is a control that doesn't have anything in there. If you click this, which really should be done by the physician, it's going to document the physician's name or whoever is signed into the record. So I'm signed in as system administrator, so it's going to document that name there. You should have this done by the physician. On the physician desktop, there actually is another button there that will do it. That is in a nice convenient place for the physician, so that they don't have to come back to this form. But if the physician was here on this form and they were doing this themselves or had made a change, they could click that and it would put their name on there. So they have the best of both worlds. It's convenient wherever they are at. This completes the training on the chief complaint and HPI form. Thank you for your attention.